What's up, sunshine? Happy Friday Eve. I'm Coy Wire. This is CNN 10, your daily 10 minutes of news for Thursday, October 9th. But tomorrow is 10/10, October 10th, and we want to give our 10 out of 10 to some of you. So send us your magical moment from this year so far. Send an email with your parents' permission to cnn10@cnn.com or post photos or an edited video on the socials with the hashtag MyCNN10, tagging at Coy Wire, at CNN10, including the who's and what's about what we're seeing, along with your school, city, and state in the comments so we can help you tell the story of you. All right, now let's get you your news. We begin in California with some big news about the deadly Palisades Fire that ravaged parts of the state earlier this year. Authorities announced yesterday that they have arrested and charged a suspect in connection with January's deadly blaze.
Today, we are announcing the arrest of 29-year-old Jonathan Rinderknecht for igniting a fire that ultimately burned down the Palisades earlier this year, killing 12 people, destroying more than 6,800 structures, both homes and businesses, and damaging over 1,000 more buildings.
The suspect is accused of maliciously starting a January 1st fire that went on to become the Palisades Fire. Police say he was working as an Uber driver and dropped off a passenger on New Year's Eve before walking up a nearby trail and starting the fire. He then allegedly drove away from the scene. The Palisades Fire is the third most destructive and ninth deadliest fire in state history. Next, we go to the Big Apple, New York City, where a very important part of the school day, lunchtime, is getting a homegrown upgrade thanks to a new competition. Students at the nation's largest school district flexed their culinary skills to create a whole new take on school lunch. Yep, move over fish sticks and fruit cups. Our Maya Blackstone caught up with the teen chefs behind these delicious and healthy treats.
At this high school in Queens, New York, kids aren't just eating school lunch, they're designing it.
New York City hosted its first competition between high school students to design a cafeteria menu item, according to New York City Public Schools Office of Food and Nutrition Services. At Francis Lewis High School, students spent months developing dishes that met the city's strict nutrition standards. The winning creations, honey garlic chicken with broccoli and a Greek-inspired cucumber salad, are now being served in every school cafeteria across the city.
Every week there would be a new recipe. They would come up with it, they would present it, they would cook it, they would scale it down with sugar, salt ratios, and then the staff would try it.
Obviously, New York City is a huge melting pot. Kids come from all sorts of backgrounds. How do the kids bring that into what they're doing today?
We are from Queens, so I think there's over 75 to 80 different cultures within the Queens itself. We try to incorporate every kid with their cultural background and embrace it. We want to be able to teach them the skills and the safety and the understanding of where their food comes from and the process of making it.
How have you seen the students grow through this program?
Teamwork, creativity, leadership. These kids wouldn't be where they are now without this program. We try to run this kitchen just like any professional kitchen. Maybe some of them will take this to move forward, to feed themselves during college or get a job or even go into the industry.
A lot of kids I feel now, they rely on their parents. So when I do move out, I already have a lot of life skills, a lot of responsibility, because that's what you do need in the kitchen. It has honestly helped me focus a lot. It's kept me off my phone. I love how it's hands-on. They give us a lot of creative freedom, and I think that allows a lot of kids to be themselves in the kitchen.
The program aligns with New York City Mayor Eric Adams' push for healthier school food, part of a broader citywide effort to reduce sodium, sugar, and processed ingredients. But some critics say the mayor's healthy eating agenda leads to nutrition gaps, logistical and economic concerns, and plain just doesn't taste good.
We have the largest school district in the country, as you know. We also have the most prohibited ingredient list. And what that means is we have low sugar, low sodium, and we prohibited a bunch of different things in our menu and in our food products. We want to make sure they're not just eating healthy, but they understand why to eat healthy. The only way to really improve our menu is to have student feedback. And what better way to have student feedback than to have them develop recipes for our menu?
For CNN 10, Maya Blackstone, New York.
And Maya did further report that she did taste the food, and it was good, she says. All right, now to another announcement of one of this year's Nobel Prizes, the esteemed annual awards that are given to those who reach the pinnacle of their fields. The Nobel Prize Committee has announced this year's prize in the field of chemistry is going to a trio of scientists whose work is being likened to something straight out of Harry Potter. Susumu Kitagawa, Richard Robson, and Omar Yagi have been named for their development of metal-organic frameworks, a new form of molecular architecture. The materials contain cavities that function a bit like hotel rooms, if you will, allowing guest molecules to enter and exit. The prize committee likens it to Hermione Granger's enchanted handbag in the Harry Potter universe. Small on the outside, huge on the inside. But this breakthrough isn't magic per se. The committee says it could have some real-world impacts, including harvesting water from desert air, or even isolating toxic pollution from exhaust gas. Wingardium Leviosa, rise up. Pop quiz, hotshot. The first bicycles were commonly known as what? Penny farthings, dandy horses, velocipedes, or tricycles? If you said dandy horses, giddy up! The direct ancestor of the bicycle was invented in 1817 by Baron Karl von Drais in Germany. Riders propelled the dandy horse by pushing their feet against the ground. It didn't have any pedals. A father-son duo are taking on an incredible feat together. Mile after mile after mile, George and Josh Kohler are attempting to cycle around the world. It's a record-breaking ride that could see them log more than 18,000 miles across 25 countries, 4 continents. But this globe-trotting trek is no easy pedal. Our Ben Church got a chance to catch up with the pair to talk about their progress so far and the challenges ahead.
Meet Josh and George Kohler, a father and son duo bidding to do something that no one has ever done before: cycle around the entire world together.
About a year and a half ago, I said to Dad, why don't we fly to Singapore and cycle home? Then we thought, well, if we're doing that far, why don't we just do the extra bit and go all the way around the whole world? And then, we set off at the end of March earlier in the year.
Let's go.
It turns out that no father and son have ever cycled around the world. So we approached Guinness World Records, and they came back a few months later and said, these are now officially endorsed as what is now 3 world record attempts. The furthest distance ever cycled by a father and son, the fastest circumnavigation of the world by a father and son on bicycles, and the most countries travelled on bicycles by a father and son. So we've gone from rookie cyclists a couple of years ago to potentially making history on this.
The father and son duo have already crossed Europe and made it through China, hoping to finish the trip early next year. They've also been documenting their journey on social media, with videos showing both their ups and the inevitable downs.
The kindness of strangers around the world has just been incredible. And it's all these little small gestures, whether that's someone driving past with a bottle of water out of the window, they gift to us, or gifting us bread or fruit.
While testing every aspect of their relationship, both men are aware of how special it is to be sharing this adventure with each other.
Incredibly grateful. And that's, again, going back to the previous point about sort of looking at the bigger picture, is thinking about that and realising how sort of lucky and fortunate I am to have a father that is willing to do this with me and, sacrifice a lot from back home, the life that you had back in England, to come out and do this with me.
I suppose that the proudest thing you can have as a father is a son that's better than you.
Today's story getting a 10 out of 10, a message in a bottle, crossing oceans and leading to a surprising connection. Back in 2018, Peyton Hollenbeck and her brother tossed a message in a bottle, complete with her phone number, into the Pacific Ocean off of Oahu's North Shore in Hawaii.
I had been walking on the beach at my favorite surf spot, and I had seen a message in a bottle. There was no phone number, but my brother and I were like, oh, we should just go make one ourselves for fun.
She forgot all about it until nearly 7 years later when she gets a text from an unrecognized number It was a family from Michigan who found her message while vacationing on Florida's Gulf Coast, thousands of miles away.
And I was like, oh, what is this about? And it was the piece of paper. And I knew it was mine because it had the paper cranes, and my brother and I had like an obsession with making paper cranes.
Despite the once-in-a-lifetime encounter, Peyton says she's more mindful of what she puts into the ocean these days. She hopes that others will think twice before following in her footsteps and instead choose to help keep the oceans clean. Our first shout out of the day goes to Mr. Goodwin and our friends at Rosedale Elementary in Rosedale, Indiana. Thank you for following along on our CNN 10 Instagram account. It has been fun showing some of our behind the scenes work here with the team. And from our YouTube subscribers, this shout out goes to Mr. Patrick at Pelham Academy in Lexington, Massachusetts. Thank you for all the kind comments and for making this show a part of your day. Happy Friday Eve, everyone. Let's dominate the day and do it again tomorrow. Finish this week strong. I'm Coy Wire, and we are CNN 10.